So there's a lot of water here.
You can see where it's kind of already starting to deteriorate a little bit.
When you give a mouse a cookie, if you know the story, you know that means that it leads to a bunch of other projects. So we are now headed on a huge adventure for us. We are headed out to... Hey friends, I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are in the process of building our dream, which is a family compound that we call Bee Free Acres. When we woke up and checked the cameras this morning, we were super excited because we saw folks out there, which means that stuff was happening. So we headed out.
And you can see it's a muddy, wet mess out here. However, we have this stuff in place, so that's the first step to building the foundation for our new home.
And as usual, I am super excited because it's really happening. I can literally see where the house is gonna go. As you can see, I kind of wanted to walk in here and be able to like stand where my living room would be, but due to how bad it rained today, I don't think that's gonna be possible. But let me just try to give you a little idea of what this is gonna look like. Of course, you can see our fabulous view right there. But this will be the front of the house. It'll have a small porch, which, Kev, I noticed the porch is missing off of here. We don't have the forms for that, so.
Well, also they don't have forms for the little pad that I'm gonna have them put for the generator as well. So I'm thinking they'll probably add that, but I'm gonna talk with my project manager just in case, because if you have a project going on, you need to come out and be looking at things as it's going on, because everybody's human, they might miss something. And you know, if they miss something, then sometimes it's harder to get it back. With concrete, we were out here when they started digging the forms and where they decided the house was gonna be, because if it was incorrect, once you pour $40,000 worth of concrete, it's hard to pull it up. You can't fix it after the fact. So if you got a project going on, you need just to stay up on it and make sure they're doing what you're paying them to do.
Did you just say $40,000 worth of concrete? I'm pretty sure we don't have $40,000 worth of concrete here. As you can see, this is a pretty small footprint. We're doing a small house because it's just the two of us now. Even though we're on the family compound, it's just that, compound, meaning they have their own houses. So we are going to have a small house, just 2 bedrooms, and 1 bedroom super small. So they're both pretty small, as you can kind of see. But let's just kind of give you this little tour. So this is the front. There will be a porch here, and it will have the front door going in right here. Around the side over here, you can see we're gonna have a good amount of space on this side because we do want to do a garage eventually as well. And this is a slab, so we're doing it on a slab, as Kevin continues to say, because when we get old, you don't want to go upstairs. So this part right here is just the side. This part right here is going to be a covered porch, because we have fabulous views and we want to maximize the outside. So we will have a hot tub, hopefully right here, and maybe a table and chairs over here, and over here. Oh, this is a bad idea. I know I can handle some mud, but anyway, this is the front porch area. So there's a lot of water here. We don't want this to be like this. And it seems like it's all sitting right here in our little fire pit area. I don't know. And this right here is where our living room will be, with all kinds of windows. And that will be looking out over So now that we have them starting to build and they're actually getting, the builders are starting their part, we have some parts as well. So over the next little while, we're going to be working on several things. One thing we have to work on is this over here. We just had the septic put in, and as you can see, that leaves us with a whole lot of dirt down here. So we're going to need to go ahead and get something planted here so that we deal with all the erosion and hopefully not having any erosion. We have another thing we need to do as well. If you've watched our previous videos, you know that we have a bear on our property, and we put out a bear cam, and I have been trying and hoping that we were going to capture a bear on our bear cam, but so far, no luck. So we are going to go ahead and change where the bear cam is located in hopes that we see something.
All right, so we're gonna put the camera on here, kind of looking down across this area, see if we can catch the bear there. Last time we caught him, he came right through the home site and then went down this hill. So right behind us, the neighbors back here, they've been picking him up on their trail cam, and that's about a quarter mile back there.
The only thing is though, is these trail cams, that what I've learned is they only get about 10-15 feet in front. So if it's not within 10 to 15 feet of the camera, it doesn't turn on and start recording unless you just happen to log in and check it out at just the right moment. So, well, it's gotta be low enough though. I think it's gotta be lower.
All right, so we're gonna try it lower, and hopefully he's coming by here. It picks up video-wise for a long distance. It's just, I don't think the sensor that turns it on, the motion sensor, picks up more than about 30 feet probably.
Hopefully we'll see a bear. Well, we haven't captured a bear yet, but we did capture our first deer on our camera.
So one of the things, in order to get our septic put in, we had to widen the road a little bit, which created a little bit more of a wall here. You can see where it's kind of already starting to deteriorate a little bit. So what I need to do is I need to figure out a way to keep this erosion from happening. I checked in on a retaining wall, and usually I'm pretty good about estimating things. Wow. Obviously I'm not good at estimating retaining walls. To go down this side around the corner, for the cheap stuff with the wood, you're looking at about $29,000. If you go with a rock or a block, it's like $39,000. Yeah, not gonna happen. So we're thinking we're probably gonna do rocks like we did on the other side, put some landscaping fabric in here. I could do railroad ties. I could even do some treated plywood, kind of anchored in, holding it up, and then put some railroad ties in front of it. But I think I'm actually just gonna do the rocks, because this isn't like an area that's gonna have to be super decorative. So
Good morning from Bee Free Acres. We are ready to get started on some of our projects. We're gonna start by getting some riprap so that we can go ahead and get that hill taken care of and make sure that we don't have any more erosion issues. But of course, when you give a mouse a cookie, if you know the story, you know that means that it leads to a bunch of other projects. So we shall see.
So you know what that pile of rocks looks like? Looks like work, looks like sweat, and we're gonna get on it.
All right, so what we need to do is we're gonna have to take a rake and the tractor and smooth this out so it's not so sharp. And then we're gonna put some landscaping fabric here and stack up some of that riprap rock so that it will hold this in place. And then the top part, we're gonna put down, I think it's called mullet. Something we got from the Farmers Exchange.
Up on it.
I don't agree, but whatever.
But if it's too slanted, it's not gonna.
I think you and I are thinking very differently about what we're doing.
I'm thinking about basically putting landscaping fabric on this, putting rocks up, just taking off the edge.
we've been working for a while on this hill on getting the rocks on it, and it is getting a little bit late, but we're not finished yet. Right now we're working on a drain, and we brought in some reinforcements. Eric is helping, and Taylor's supervising because she's pregnant. Bella, come here. So we're gonna get through this drain and then call it a night because we're getting tired and we want to have a fire tonight and relax a little bit and enjoy the property. But let me show you the drain that we're doing.
Doing great work out here.
This was a bit harder than I anticipated it to be because on the other side we were more dumping the rocks down the side with the tractor, and this side we're placing them one by one, the rocks. So it's a bit more time consuming and more work for sure, as you can see from the amount of dirt on me. Good morning. We are back at it again this morning. Well, actually we haven't started yet, but we're gonna get back on that retaining wall this morning. So we got this bed right here for Coda because he's white, and it's an attempt to keep him somewhat clean in all of this mud. And he loves his bed, but he still likes to lay in the dirt too. But we try. But if it's not in the shade, forget it. He's not staying there. You want me to move it to the shade, bud?
So I am gluing an additional pipe onto my 10-foot piece that came over, because this is a little bit more than 10 feet, so I got another piece.
The sun has gone down and we are still working on rocks. It looks good, but this is hard work. We are filthy and exhausted. Hopefully we'll be done soon. So we had to stop because it was just taking so long, and it's been so hot that we needed to wait till evening in order to do it. But now we are going to work on getting the rest of those rocks out of there. So we are done, and we are just gonna get some, then they're gonna come and do the concrete, and then we'll be heading out.
So we got it finished. It's dark out. We're all hot, worn out, but we got it finished. And look at Coda. He stayed clean through the whole project.
Oh my gosh, Coda.
And now we're ready for concrete. All right, so you can see we got some plumbing going in, getting ready for that concrete. So they've got the forms to the foundation, got the plumbing in. I think the next thing is going to be the concrete.
I've been trying to be my own guiding star, but it appears it hasn't taken me very far. I've tried to be my own all in all and everything, but it's just been...
The next thing on our list is to spray some of the new growth on the side of the hill where we removed everything. We've got some stumps that are starting to grow back up, so we want to use some special stuff to make sure that those don't continue to grow. And what we're going to use is Remedy Ultra. You mix Remedy with diesel fuel, and it is very good at stopping the growth of anything that has bark or leaves, like tree type material. This area behind me is the septic drain field. So what we're gonna do is, everything's been put in, so we wanna get something growing on here to control the erosion. So I was at our local farm feed store, and they said millet is a good option for this time of year to put down to kind of fill in the space and keep it from causing any erosion. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just dragging the rake across everything, just kind of loosening up the top of the soil. I'm gonna go ahead and spread my millet, then we're gonna put the sprinkler to it so that it will hopefully soak in. So the last thing that I need to do, I need to actually drag the road. We've had a lot of activity going up and down the road. It's been dry for several days, so it's a good time to do that, get the road in shape before we leave. And also, kind of hear some stuff. I think they're doing some stuff over at Taylor, so we're gonna have to go check that out as well. All right, so update on Taylor's property. And they got a crapper. They've had a crapper for a long time.
The girls have done an amazing party for me and Kevin and the boys for my new adventure in life, as I am now going to be semi, what we would call retired, but it's actually part-time.
Yeah. Nice. Good job. You still have your. So good. And kind of. The blend, baby, is right there.
What? As her retirement present, we organized your closet.
Wow. All right, we have two really exciting things happening today. The first one, I will tell you right now, we checked the camera this morning. It is super early, and well, super early. It's like 6 o'clock this morning, and we looked, and they are already at the family compound, at the property, and they have the concrete trucks there, so they're going to be pouring the foundation, and they were there with flashlights.
At 5:45, actually, not 6. So
Actually 5:40.
Was it 5:40? Okay.
So early this morning. So we are going to head out and check it out and see what's going on with the concrete.
These guys aren't just Johnny on the spot. These guys are like Johnny before the spot. I can't believe how friggin' quickly they were out here this morning. It's crazy.
Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest times, you give me hope. So I lean on you when I'm lost my way. I keep holding on for a better day. I lean on you when the world's a
We got out to the property, and of course they were already started, as we knew when we checked on the camera, and had made so much progress. What did you say? They're not Johnny on the...
They're not Johnny on the spot, they're Johnny before the spot.
They were on it, and it was really cool. So they had to have several trucks come out and with the concrete in it. They also had this like really cool, I don't know what was that.
They had a big pump that would pump it and move it around to where they needed to. And the guy running it had a bat belt, the Batman belt that he controlled everything from. That was really cool. That was really cool.
It's really neat to see that. And when you're thinking about your house and everything, it just kind of makes me think about how important it is that your foundation is solid.
Yep.
And that your foundation, because everything is built on that, and not to get philosophical or anything, but you know, life is like that too.
Yeah.
And it's just so important to have those good foundations so that you can have great adventures.
Exactly.
So then then we stopped back again one more time before our next big thing that we're going to share with you. And they were polishing the concrete.
Yep, and it was looking good. Took the forms off already. It's amazing actually how quickly all of that goes once they get working on it.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It looks really
I'm
good.
really excited. And now we have nothing more that we can do for the moment. I mean, we could probably find something, but we really have nothing more to do for the moment. So we are now headed on a huge adventure for us. We are headed out to
Venice.
Europe.
To Europe.
To spend a couple of weeks in Europe. So the next few adventures you're going to see from us, or several, are going to be all over Europe. And this is our first time out of the country, so it is a really big deal for us. We hope you will join us. Get out there as always, have all kinds of adventures, whether it's in your backyard or it's across the seas, and be free. See you
In the next video.
in the next adventure.
I'm all off today.